shipping weapons to Israel. Joining me now is Liberal Senator Dave Sharma. Senator, thank you so much for your time. Is this the lowest that we've ever seen, that relationship between Israel and America, and are you concerned about it?
No, it's not the lowest. I mean, there have been well-known periods of tension between US administrations, both Republican and Democrat, and Israel going back many decades. It's certainly the lowest we've seen it in about a decade. But look, it reflects some difficult circumstances. I mean, I think the world would like this war to end as quickly as possible. Israel would like this war to end as quickly as possible. There's been an awful humanitarian consequences to it. But until Hamas agrees to release the hostages and to surrender itself, I don't see this conflict concluding. And I think that remains the objective. And I think it's important that all of us focus as much of our attention and focus and energy on the supporters of Hamas to convince them that this war is doing immense damage to their own people and there's no good options for them. They should surrender.
Yeah, I think you missed the start of my show, Dave. I saw you kind of moving into the studio just a couple of minutes ago. I spoke about this exact thing and made the point that Australians should rightly be outraged about the death of a volunteer, an aid worker. But the outrage seems to me to be misdirected. Yes, Israel must be held accountable for any mistakes it makes. It must investigate them and it must be transparent. But Hamas started this war. Her death is a direct result of Hamas starting this war.
I agree. I think, there was a ceasefire before the 7th of October. Hamas broke it. There was an Australian killed, of course, in the 7th of October terrorist attacks, Galit Carbone. I mean, I don't think we've got a full investigation and account from Hamas about the circumstances of her death, but of course that killing was intentional. This killing of Zomi Frankcom was unintentional. It was a terrible tragedy. It was a mistake. It shouldn't have happened. But I think Israel has, by accepting responsibility and offering a fulsome investigation, done what we would expect of ourselves in similar circumstances and what we should expect of any civilised military.
Senator, last week it came out that an anti-Israel academic who helped spread the details of 600 doxed Jewish creatives is judging, I think it's a panel for the New South Wales Multicultural Awards. Now, I've had Randa, Abdel, Fattah on this show, and it was just after the October 7 attacks last year. Have a quick look. You have defended Hamas in the past. You have also sat in a panel with a Hamas terrorist. You have also retweeted a tweet that is calling for the destruction of Israel. Do you want Israel eradicated? I've looked at your past. I am asking you because you have said and done things in the past. Do you stand by them?
What you're saying here is nonsense.
Well, I can tell you, Senator, it wasn't nonsense because all three of those things were correct. You've written to the Premier, Chris Minns. What have you asked him to do?
Well, I was shocked to learn that Dr Abdel Fattah was a panellist, a judge, the lead judge on this New South Wales Multicultural Awards panel, given what she said. I mean, and I've asked the Premier to reconsider her inclusion on this panel because these multicultural awards are meant to celebrate the diversity of Australia, but also to promote social cohesion and community harmony. And instead, we've had Dr Abdel Fattah, tell people who support Israel that they should be cowed into silence. They should be ashamed of themselves. I can't imagine she could ever impartially judge a work by a Jewish Australian author. But she's also supported the doxing, the public release of details of several hundred Jewish Australians, not for anything they'd said or done, but simply because they are Jewish. Now, how someone like this can serve on a important panel which is about promoting community harmony when she herself is promoting social division is just beyond me. I mean, I think it's incredible, and I think Premier Minns should act immediately to remove her from that role.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. And finally, a bipartisan parliamentary delegation is heading to Taiwan on Sunday. What do you hope to achieve?
Well, I think, firstly, Taiwan's obviously just been through an earthquake and this visit was planned before that. The visit will go ahead, but obviously we want to pass on our condolences to the loss of life there amongst the Taiwanese people and, see if there's anything we can do by way of support. But more importantly, look, obviously Taiwan's just had fresh elections. There's a new administration that's taking office in May. The Taiwan Strait has been an ongoing flashpoint in our region now for the past several decades, but it's becoming particularly acute. And I think we want to speak to senior Taiwanese officials about how they read China's current planning and intentions, what sort of defensive measures they have in place, and how we can work together to help promote and maintain the status quo across the Taiwan Strait.
Okay. Look forward to catching up with you when you get back. Thank you so much, Senator. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Erin.
Still to come.